All right, recording is started. Let me get this shared. All right, Daniel, it's all yours, brother.
All right. Well, great. Hey, everybody. Great to have you on. Hope everybody had a great weekend this past weekend. And of course, it's been beautiful here in Florida. But I also want to congratulate as we ended the month here, the month of March, and had a number of rank advancements. And I particularly want to just give a shout out to Chris Goudreau, who really worked hard all way into the wee hours of the morning, being able to make it to Pro 4. And Mike and Lisa for really staying with him all the way through that 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning venture. So, great job, you guys. And of course, got Ben, who's now first month Pro 3. So great job there. And also want to congratulate Jane Stanley. She rank advanced in the previous month and was able to maintain that. So all that's good stuff. So want to just to congratulate everybody. Those are just a few people in my group, and want to help. Hopefully, everybody else is doing really well, looking very exciting as we continue here in the month of April. And with the idea of rank advancements, that's what I wanted to kind of talk to you about. There was just a little strategy that Brandon shared with me early on as I was looking to rank advance and going from Pro 5 to 6 that I was able to utilize. And I want to share that with you today and see if that's something that might help you as you're looking to rank advance and maintain rank and what have you. It's real simple. I don't have anything to share with you as far as to visually share with you. So you might have to just listen carefully and get your pen and paper out to just think through this. But I want to take you through the idea. Let's just assume now today that you have that you hit Pro 2, and what you did by doing that is that let's say it's in your second month and you hit Pro 2 and you're at 2,700 in volume. There were 2 platinum packs and a gold package that was that you enrolled. Plus you maintained a $200 of auto ship, so the total of 2,700 in volume. And so now we're coming into the month of April, and with that 2,700, and you said, you know what, I want to get to Pro 3 this month. And so how do you calculate that? Well, first of all, you know, what you're going to do is that you're going to say, what is my starting number? What April 1, what am I actually going to be starting with? And April 1, you know, you didn't have any preferred customers and so forth, but you basically are going to start with about 800 in volume. And that's assuming that you have maintained your $200 auto ship and the 3 other enrollments, the 2 platinum packs and the gold package have 200 in volume as well. Well, that gives you a total of 800. So that's your starting point for that month. And so obviously what we want to do is that we want to calculate what is it going to take now for me to get another 4,200 in volume in order to hit the rank of Pro 3. And obviously what that's going to take is that it's going to take at least 4 platinum packs and a gold pack, right? So that would give you a 4,500, put you over the top. And so you would, so when you are looking at, if you've ever put this on a, you know, if you got a whiteboard in your office or whatever to kind of set that up, you want to hit April, Pro 3 in April. And then to the left, you want to hit, maybe say you want to do 5 platinum packs. Or 4 platinum packs and a gold, or the other part of that is that you would say that you want to get 9, you want to get to 9 gold packs. So one of those 2, put those both on there. And then, and so as you do that, the point is that as you have that, you'll have obviously a combination of those 2 would get you there, right? And so that's what you're looking to do. You're looking to either you're going to get a combination of either, 4 platinum packs and a gold, or 9 gold packages, right? So as you put that on there, and then on the right hand side, as they come in, you just put a little mark, right, until you get to that, until you get to that number, and so then you go down to the 3 new enrollments, and you do the same thing with them. You ask them, just really, where do they want to get to? Are they want to shoot for a Pro 2 this month? They want to get to Pro 3, whatever that may be, and you help them do the same type of calculation that you just did, knowing that maybe they were a platinum pack and they didn't sign up anybody, and now they're going to start with $200 in volume. That's their starting point in order to get to Pro 2 or Pro 3. And you'll do the same thing with them, and knowing what they're willing to do, what work they're willing to put in order to get to Pro 2 or Pro 3. That'll give you a pretty good indication of what you might be able to do. For instance, if you had someone who said, listen, I believe I'm going to hit Pro 3 this month, and this is who I'm going after, and I'm going to be implementing this many launch calls, and you go through a whole little strategic plan with them, and you execute that plan with them in order to get there. But they're going to do the same thing. So they're going to actually put down that they're going to want to get Pro 3. So they're basically going to do the same thing. They're going to say, I need 5 platinum packs, or I need or I need 20 gold packages, and so forth. And they would put that aside and make those marks too, whatever it's going to take in order to get there as well. And so you would do that for each one of your new 3 distributors. And you look at then you look at what they're looking to do, the effort they're willing to put in, what the goal they have. And when you look at that and you say, well, if these guys, if this my new small team would actually hit those goals, and you think about it, say, man, I can actually hit Pro 4 this month, not Pro 3, because what it's not including, of course, is that, or you add to it your efforts, that what you had, to also on your own efforts, how many people that you plan to enroll, and how many people that you hope to get in as a gold or platinum packages as well. So when you combine all that and you say your numbers might be totally different. You might be now saying that, what, I think if all these 3 team members will do what they say they'll do, I think that the Pro 4 is in range this month. And you would set it up that way, knowing that some of that volume, obviously, or some of those enrollments are going to be coming from your team. And the key is, of course, that you're going to be dividing that time between doing your own prospecting and reaching out, at the same time helping your team to get to their goals. And of course, obviously, if they get to their goals, you've gotten to your first goal, that being Pro 3. And then if you add your enrollments and so forth, maybe you're up there to Pro 4. And so, but that every month, that's what we began to do, if that makes sense. Now, you notice that I'm not including PCs in that. And I'm also not actually even considering the silver packs. And the reason is because, the silver is kind of like, someone who's got a lot of volume as a PC. So, but what happens is as we know, by default, as we reach out and we try to get distributors, by default, we're going to get customers. People are going to say, well, before I get involved, I want to try the product first, or whatever the reasoning might be, or they say, as of right now, the business isn't for me, but I definitely want to get on these products. And so therefore you get customers. Now, I don't actually include them in my calculations because I look upon that as just being gravy. That puts me well beyond the number that I need, so that if there's any kind of callbacks or anything like regarding product, I'm in a safe zone. I've definitely made my goal. However, at the same time, if you say like, wow, if there's a place where you're looking at it, and then as a result of just doing the work, now that you've got 10 or 15 customers, and if those customers were averaging $100 worth of product each, well, now, you just added the equivalent of another platinum and a gold pack in order for you to attain your goal. But you're not looking at that in order to get to that goal. You're just using that's something that you're using just as a side thing. If you happen to be getting close, then you might look to those numbers or whatever. But basically, if you know what I mean, you're going to stay focused on reproducing other distributors and helping your distributors do the very same thing. So that's basically, how, in which it got very exciting, because you can, I remember walking into Brandon's, his office and seeing that up on a whiteboard and seeing him have his little marks and how many, that he was getting as far as those various, distributors coming in and what have you, him actually looking at and working towards getting that done on a monthly basis, which would really motivated me to do the same thing. And we would do that every month, to do that kind of calculation. In fact, I just shared with, we went through that, and as Mimi Madden is now been able to stay at Pro 5 and moving on now. Her goal is, Pro 7. But we went back and we were able to do those same kind of calculations this very past month to help her other team to look at how, strategically how to look at them going to the next level as well. So guys, this is, I really think this is a great opportunity. Now, one thing I want to add to that too, though, as kind of like, now let's just say you've grown your business some, and now you're looking at you've got more volume, you've got a lot more customers that are coming in, but you do it the same way. You basically look at any new distributors. Hopefully, you're calculating that they're going to be at $200 in volume to start out with your auto ship. But then when you're looking at the total number of customers that you had and what that volume was to your customers, you might want to look at that and take that back about 20 to 25%. So let's just say that you had $10,000 worth of purchases or income via your customer base, via your for that particular month. Well, you might want to take and say, well, I'm going to start off with not 10,000 but 8,000, knowing that sometimes some of that were one-time purchases, some other reasons why people get off the product and what have you. So when you're calculating that, when you're at a bigger level where that customer base does really make up a great deal of your much more of your volume, then that's basically how you're going to calculate it. You're going to give it, you're going to minus it probably a good 20-25%, and so that you can be conservative, saying this is what your number that you're starting with. You're starting with, of course, all those distributors that you have and their auto ships, and then all what you had last month for your customer base as far as their volume, and then you're going to minus that maybe about 20%, and that's how you're going to come up again. Now that you're at a different level with a new number that you're going to start with that month to try to rank advance. And obviously, sometimes it's not looking at, I'm not trying to, if you're going to get from Pro 7 to Pro 8, it may not be I'm going to get to Pro 8 this month, but you're going to incrementally say, I want to grow by 15, 20,000 this month in order to get to that Pro 8 or higher rank. So those are the things that you might want to think in terms of doing, and especially breaking it down and helping your group to see that. And as a group, then you're looking at, how they can then, because as they get small teams together, they begin to do that same practice with their teams. And so everybody is on the same page, working, jointly together to reach the goals, and hopefully the goal of the whole team. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. That was very key. Just a small little strategic thing that I use, and eventually in 24 months getting to Pro 8. Looking at that, it was always a short term, something I could look at every month to try to shoot for and do, and then include my team and ask them every month, where are you at this month? What have you calculated? And what do you think, who do we have to work with, and how do you think we can get you there for this month? So anyway, wanted to share that with you guys. Just again, as we're all thinking about rank advancements here, especially this with ourselves and for our teams, that's one way that you can look at how you can do that and keep everybody, when they have a short-term goal, keep everybody excited moving forward. The second thing is just just something I was trying to share on one of the previous Mondays, and I just botched thank you, Fred, for helping me here to be on. But I botched so terribly bad was, well, I wanted to share with you just my one of the shows that I love. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I do love to get to be able to watch Shark Tank. And I'm really kind of amazed at the Shark Tank because, you're seeing entrepreneurs and people who are able to get a deal, reach their goals, be able to fulfill their dreams, which is wonderful, very inspiring and so forth. But one thing I kind of noticed that when I compared that, these people who are on Shark Tank with the business that I have, and so many times I hear people, they've gotten on and they give the updates about Shark Tank, and they said, before Shark Tank, I was doing $100,000 a year in business, and after Shark Tank, now I'm doing $1 million a year, and which is great. It's fantastic. But I thought to myself, wait a minute, as a Pro A, I think about, wow, before LifeVantage, I know what my income was, and here I made like basically at that time less than $1,000 investment, and to now making well over six figures in this business. And I'm thinking, man, now that's a Shark Tank update, for sure. How powerful is that? Because when you think about the fact that they've made $1 million, they don't add in the fact that, but that shark took 25% of that $1 million, and that $1 million, they're paying for brick and mortar, they're paying for employees and the FICA and all that other stuff that they have to do, and also dealing with all the different issues that they have to deal with. And we're looking at, for ourselves, for you guys, this is like, wow, your $1,000 investment could turn into six figures, and in that you're not shipping any product. You don't have a brick and mortar building. You don't have any of those kind of expenses. And when I look at that, I said, man, well, comparatively, this is such a great deal. If you think getting a deal on Shark Tank is great, man, just getting involved with LifeVantage and our cutting edge, one of a kind products, and being able to share that with the world, and knowing that, that we can actually have teams all over the world and not own a building, that is just unbelievable, right? And the other thing I thought about it too is that these guys get so excited because they get a shark to work with them. And I thought about that, and I thought, like, guys, we've got sharks right here on Team True Blue. We've got shark types. I want to just say that. The difference is they're not going to take a big chunk out of your income, and they are actually you don't have to. They're not just investors. There are people who are going to work with you and to help you to build your business. I mean, you've got the Brandon Cunninghams and the Fred Graves and the other elites that are here to work with you in your business. I'll never forget when I tell the story about how Brandon was coming through with a Pro 9, and he was going down to Fort Myers or somewhere south, and they were happening coming through my town, and decided that they wanted to stop in and share with me a little bit, just for 5 minutes as they continued down South Florida here. And so they came into the office, and I told them about the story of how I met with a guy earlier and signed him up. And he was a business guy, signed him up as a preferred customer. And Brandon asked me, he said, well, who'd you put on as a third party call, or who'd you bring with you to that meeting? And I had blown it. I had not brought anybody to that meeting, and I didn't use a third party call, and I signed him up as a preferred customer. And so having felt pretty bad, and even though I'd already taken his time and signed him up as a preferred customer that morning, with Brandon there and this Pro 9 there, I said, I'm going to give him a call. And so while they're sitting in my office, I gave this guy a call, and I said to him, I said, listen, I have two guys here today, introduced them, Brandon and so forth, and they're making well over six figures today in LifeVantage. And I thought, as a businessman, you would appreciate being able to have the opportunity to talk with them. And I said, and by the way, they're making well over six figures, and they're working for me today. And I gave them the phone, and they talked to Brandon and the other guy here for just about 5 minutes. And I got the phone back, and I asked them, I said, what did you like best about what you just heard? And he said, sign me up as, a distributor. And so guys, I'm just making the point. There are the two equivalent of sharks and who are willing to work and give of their time to make sure that I'm successful, right? Is that powerful or what? Where can you get people like that who are making that kind of money to come alongside of you and help you to be successful? That you don't find that in the corporate world. So this is what we have. And I call these guys, they're not, because a shark is somebody, you don't go swimming with the sharks, right? You go swimming with the dolphins, because dolphins are friendly, they're fun, and they're powerful. Well, that's what we have in our leadership today. We've got people who are friendly, who are fun, who are powerful, who are willing to come alongside you, just like you want to swim alongside the dolphins. These dolphins will swim alongside you and help you to obtain whatever you want in this business. And that's what's really exciting. And those are things that are such an intangible that we don't put in dollars and cents, but not only helping us in our bottom lines in our business, but just helping us overall as people, helping, obviously grow personally in order to just be better people and obviously better business people. And so guys, if you think being on Shark Tank is a big deal, then guess what? You got that sitting right before you through Team True Blue and being a part of this team and in LifeVantage. So I just wanted to encourage you today to swim with these dolphins and use them as an awesome resource to help you rank advance here in the month of April and go on to even the elite ranks. So thank you very much for taking the time to being on today. Thank you for just taking up your early here in the month and your Monday morning to listen just to a few things that I had to share with you. And you guys take care.
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate your time. Guys, hopefully you had your pen and notebook handy. This guy knows what he's doing. He's a highly successful entrepreneur, and he's crushing it in LifeVantage as a Pro 8. Thanks again, Daniel, for doing that. Couple things I really want to hit on that he brought up. Guys, I think about that all the time, and I love that he talked about the illustration of the Shark Tank. I mean, a lot of times we sit back and we go, wow, all this big business. What you don't realize is we don't have to deal with the paperwork. We don't have to deal with general liability, the insurance, the risk of products going bad, or dealing with the customer service. That's the beauty of network marketing is LifeVantage handles all of that. So we get to surround ourselves with leaders that know how to build a successful business. Let LifeVantage, the corporate office, handle all the non-fun stuff that has to go along with business. And we just collect the check for what? Creating awareness, building friendships, building and developing leadership. So I love that analogy. And another thing I see is, as Daniel Bernard brought out as a highly successful Pro 8 in our company, he keyed on something I hope every single one of you, it doesn't matter what rank you are. The systems, everybody uses a system. Third-party validation, he walked through a scenario where he didn't have a lot of success doing on his own. Wait a minute, he's a Pro 8. He's a Pro 8. You think he could pick the phone up and just tell his friends what to do in the business. But he had success through the system of third-party validation. And I want you guys to understand that's the power of our system. It's there for a reason. Every single person that we talk to in our business, what you have to understand is this. They're sizing up, will it work for me? That's what they're sizing up. When you're giving them information, they're going, can I do this? By using a system of third party, they go, well, Daniel didn't do anything. He just put me on the phone with someone else. That's the power of the system. So make sure you're using third-party validation. Couple other things I want to hit on. Guys, April 21st, we have LVA. You guys know in our markets, we shift the gears a little bit. We started with the LV workshops. We heard Tori last week telling the experience of her workshop in Louisiana. Well, now we've got LVA, and the format and the flow is going to be a little bit different. So get registered. Tampa, New Orleans, Atlanta, New York, all the markets that we always have LVAs. It's going to be exciting. So you're gonna love the flow of the way that these things are gonna roll out. Make sure you get registered ASAP. You're gonna see on Team True Blue the links to get registered. Also, tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Team True Blue conference line. At 8 p.m., you're going to have Brandon Cunningham, our Pro 10 of our team, giving us updates for the team, updates for the company, make sure you get on that call. It won't be an opportunity. It won't be in training. It's an update call. Get on it. Some very important information. And on our team Facebook page, we'll put a flyer with the phone number and the link so you guys are reminded and get that to all of your teams to get on it. Again, I'm going to close with focus on the Pacesetter program. Focus on getting as many and every single person in your group to Pacesetter Pro 2, Pacesetter Pro 3. Make yourself a Pacesetter Pro. And by default, you're going to see yourself in Mexico with the incentive trip. So, guys, again, thanks for jumping on our weekly team call. Daniel, thank you for crushing it this morning. It was awesome. He laid out for you how to build your business. He laid out for you what you need to be focusing on. It was very valuable for your business. So, guys, have a great day. And all I'm going to say is go crush April. Go work with the urgency that you had closing March. It seems like the last 5 days of the month, everybody kicks into a high gear for rank advancement. Imagine what you would do if you started this month off like that. If you started April 2nd off with excitement, with urgency, you know where you ended up last month. So take that momentum and people engaged. Start this month off and crush April. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.